everyone, it's On That Note with Penelope, and today we're going to be learning about the piano and basic music theory. So as you can see, we have a piano in front of us, and the piano has low notes and high notes. And as you can see, the low notes are to the left and the high notes are to the right. Now the piano is made up of black and white keys, and the black keys have a pattern of 2s and 3s. So you see the patterns of 2s here and the pattern of 3s here. This pattern is very important because it helps us learn notes on the piano. And the 2 black keys specifically helps us find C. So when we locate C, we use the 2 black keys of the piano, the set of 2 black keys on the piano, to find C. So you'll find 2 black keys and you'll go directly to the white key to the left. And there goes your C. To locate F on the piano, we'll use 3 black keys. We'll use the 3 black key pattern. And just the same as the white keys, you'll go to the left of the 3 black keys. So to find F, you go directly to the left of the 3 black keys, and that white key right there will be F. The musical alphabet is made up of 7 letters, and the first letter is A. Just like the regular alphabet that we learn in preschool, the musical alphabet begins with A. Then you'll have B, C, D, E, F, and G. So the musical alphabet starts from A and it goes all the way to G. And after G, it just repeats back to A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you repeat. So here is a big picture of all of the keys on the piano. Once you've located C using the 2 black keys and F using the 3 black keys, you can find all of the notes of the musical alphabet on the piano. So as you can see here, we start with the letter C because we have a set of 2 black keys that begin, and we go throughout the range of the piano to find the rest of the notes. Now, when you play the piano, specifically you play with your fingers have numbers to them, and these finger numbers are seen in actual piano sheet music that will help you determine which finger to play at what point in the music. So you'll see that you have your right and left hand, and you'll see that your thumbs are 1, your pointers are 2, your middle finger is 3, your ring finger is 4, and your pinky is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both are identical for the left and right hand. When we play our scales, we'll use those finger numbers to help us navigate and play 1 octave and 2 octave scales. For this purpose, we're going to start with 1 octave scales, and we start with finger number 1, then 2, 3, then we go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to play a major scale, you'll use fingers 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can actually pause the video and actually try to tap it out on your table or in a book so you can actually get the feel of it. You can also practice on the piano, and we'll get to that in a second of how we can do that. So the major scale pattern has whole steps and half steps. And these whole steps and half steps makes up the sound of a scale that we normally hear. So we'll have whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And these whole steps and half steps happen between notes. So from one note to the next note, it could be a whole step or a half step. And here you'll see that the first whole step happens between the first and second note. So between fingers 1 and 2, you play 2 notes, and between those 2 notes, you have your first whole step. Then so on and so forth. You get another whole step between fingers 2 and 3. Then 3 and 1 makes a half step. 1 and 2 makes a whole. 2 and 3 makes a whole. 3 and 4 makes a whole. And 4 and 5 makes a half step. So if you look at your first major scale, we're going to look at the C major scale for now. And we're going to look at a 1 octave C major scale. Between C and D is a whole step. The reason why it's a whole step is because there's a black key in between. So if you go from the C to the black key, that's a half step. And from the black key to D will be a whole step. So if you go from C straight to D, you'll make a whole step. And it keeps going. From D to E is a whole step. Why? Because if you go from D to the black key next to it, it's going to be a half step. And from the black key to E will be a half step. A half step and a half step equals a whole step. So from D to E directly is a whole step. Now notice between E and F, there is no black key. So from E to F has to be a half step because there's nothing in between them two that makes a half step. So from E to F is a half step. And notice from B to C is another direct half step where there's no black key between B and C. So from B to C will be another half step. So here we'll see the letter names and the finger numbers that make up the major scale. And this is an idea of what a 2 octave C major scale will look like. When you get to the second C, you would play with your thumb instead of your pinky. So let's take a look at that. And this is an idea of what the C major scale will look like. You can use this, you can pause the video at any time and take your time playing this, but this gives you what finger to play with what letter name. So if you start on the letter C, you will use your first finger. If you go to D, you'll use your second finger, and so on and so forth. This tells you what finger plays with what note.